Hey everyone, Justin Crumley here with the Cujo Productions channel, coming at you with a video that I really did not want to make. I've been pretty quiet for the most part this Michigan football season, and there's been a reason for that. Um, to be honest, guys, I really never knew what to think about Michigan this year. I didn't want to buy the hype. I didn't want to get behind and start acting like that this year was going to be different and oh, this is going to be great and blah blah blah. Look at their record, look at their rank. I saw a lot of holes in their offense. It just more or less looked like the same. Like the coaching staff, besides Harbaugh and Josh Gaddis, was different, but the play calling was still mostly the same, and it just looked like the same thing. So I didn't want to get too wrapped up in the hype. I wanted to see how they would do against their real opponents this year. Now, who are their real opponents this year? Well, in my opinion, there were four major games that they needed to win. And this is just my opinion. I know not everybody's going to agree with this because, spoiler alert, Washington is not one of them. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But the first game was Wisconsin. And they won. It was great. They looked good. But to be honest, that win, I don't know how good that win looks in hindsight. I don't know what the score is between Wisconsin and Iowa at the time I'm recording this, but that's irrelevant. They beat Wisconsin. It was a good win for Harbaugh. Fine. Michigan State was the other one that they had to win. And obviously that didn't happen. Now, I'll talk about that a little bit in just a second. The last two games are Penn State and Ohio State. Now, obviously, they haven't played those games yet. I don't know how confident I am going into those games, but we'll see. But if there's anything I've learned from this game, it's this. Jim Harbaugh does not know how to game plan. He does not know how to put together a game plan. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Here's what I'm going to come in a little hot with what I think is a cold take, but I guess that remains to be seen. I think Jim Harbaugh needs to be fired. I'm just going to, and you know what? At this point, this is the hill I'm willing to die on, and there are two other games he can prove me wrong on. Penn State and Ohio State. But as of right now, I think Harbaugh. I think there's more of a case that he needs to be fired. The reason being, he cannot put a game plan together. He has been an absolute disappointment for his time at Michigan. Guys, look, I want to ask you something. What was he brought in to do? Before you say he was brought in to win, think about it like this. What if you win a lot of games but you have nothing to show for it? What good is it? Jim Harbaugh is 3-4 against Michigan State. He is 0-2 against Mel Tucker. He cannot beat Ohio State. He's 0-5. Probably should be 0-6. Let's be real. If they played Ohio State would have broke their foot off in their ass and put a bullet in the back of their head. It would have been horrible. The overall point is that he hasn't won the games that matter. How many Big Ten championships has he won? 0. He's never even gotten Michigan to Indianapolis to play for a Big Ten title. He has not gotten Michigan to the college football playoff. Guys, this is what he was brought in to do. He has not done that. This is year number 7. When is enough enough? As a Michigan fan, it makes me sick to see the media constantly fawning over Michigan and Jim Harbaugh and saying things like, oh, this is going to be it. This is the year. This is this. This is that. I'm sick of it. At this point, it's hollow words. It's a bunch of crap. they're trying to sell you shit on a silver platter and tell you it's a brownie. It's ridiculous. And as a Michigan fan, I've had enough. I can't speak for all Michigan fans, but I'm done. At this point, the hill I'm ready to die on is that Harbaugh needs to be fired at the end of the season. And you know what? He beat Wisconsin. He lost to Michigan State. If he wants to redeem himself, he can beat Penn State and beat Ohio State. But I don't really see either of those things happening. So, we'll see. I hope I'm wrong, but I doubt it. I doubt it. As for, I know I'm going to get this question. I know I'm going to get the comments saying, well, then who should replace him? Who should replace him? You know what, guys? I don't know. The burden doesn't fall on me, though. I'm just a fan, and I'm sick and tired of hearing how fucking great this team is, and they can't win the games that matter. I've had it. I'm so sick of it. So you know what? Here's what I think they should do. This is what I'm going to give you guys. This is what I can give you guys as a fan. They should pull out that book, the big old book that says tradition. They should blow the dust off that thing. They should open up a window and chuck the son of a bitch like a damn rock on a pond, because screw the damn tradition crap. You know what tradition I like? Winning. If you have to throw away your old traditions to maintain the tradition of winning, then I say go for it. I say get rid of Harbaugh and go hire a guy that is not a Michigan man. Don't limit yourself to just a Michigan man. Or, if you want to get a lady, I don't really give a damn as long as they know how to coach. Get a man or a woman that has a bit of a chip on their shoulder, or they have something to prove. And if that means you have to look at Ohio State's coaching staff, or Michigan State's coaching staff, or maybe you look to the SEC, you look to the Pac-12, I really don't give a damn at this point. Look outside, step outside your comfort zone, and start living in the present. It's 2021. It's not the 70s. It's not the 60s. It's not the 80s or the 90s. You can't just go on, well, we're Michigan. Our helmet has wings. Start making some damn changes. Let your students accept NIL. Let your fucking, hire a person to take the job and let them do their thing. Look at how Michigan State has bounced back from Mark D'Antonio's retirement. I mean, that was, for all intents and purposes, Mark D'Antonio is going to go down as probably the best coach in Michigan State history. So, I mean, to say like, oh, if Harbaugh can't do it, then who can? I just don't agree with that. I don't agree with that sentiment. I think it's time Michigan adopts a new identity. They need to change. They need to shed this tradition BS and start writing a new book on tradition. Start writing a new tradition book, because you know what tradition I like? Winning. And like I said, if you have to sacrifice a few traditions to do that, then I say go for it. Alright guys, I got a little intense there. The last thing I want to say, I just kind of want to tip my cap to Michigan State and Mel Tucker. Look, from one Michigan fan, I can't speak for them all, but look, from one Michigan fan to every State fan out there, you guys played them hard. You earned that victory. Now, best of luck going forward. Now I'm going to leave it at that. There were some bad calls here and there, but look, nonetheless, Michigan State earned that victory. And what Mel Tucker has done with that program, I can't hate him for it. I can't deny it. And I'm not going to act like the piss-poor officiating and some of the bad calls changed the outcome of that game. Michigan State took advantage of those opportunities. That's all there is to it. Guys, we lost fair and square. It is what it is. And hey, man, got to respect what Mel Tucker has done for that program. So, yeah. And to think that Michigan can't do the same, I just think is absolutely asinine. But you guys have heard from me. Now I want to hear from you. Do you agree with me that Harbaugh should be fired? Are you holding him to the same credentials that I am? If he wants to save his job at this point, or at least have an argument to save his job, he has to go out there and beat Penn State and Ohio State. Do you also agree about where Michigan should go from here? If you think Harbaugh should be fired, do you agree with me that they should kind of change things up a bit? What was that line in Spider-Man Homecoming? The world's changing, boys. Time we change too. I don't know. I think that logic applies here. But again, I want to hear from you guys, so be sure to sound off in the comment section below. I'm going to go ahead and get the remainder of the last creepypasta-thon up for you guys. And yeah, until next time, stay awesome.